In the last week, I made $28,000 in profit from sports betting, and in this video, I'm going to give you the 3 biggest tips that can help you do the exact same. Before we get into it, I want to make one thing crystal clear. This is not at all a get-rich-quick scheme, and if you do not have thousands of dollars, you will not make anywhere near the amount that I'm making. Across last week as a whole, I risked $62,000 in total across 7 days to profit the $28,000. That's not $62,000 in one day. That's $5,000 per bet that I'm placing, and that's why I added up to $62,000. However, unfortunately, there seems to be a huge misconception that sports betting is just a get-rich-quick, and just because you're paying for bets means that you're going to win 100% of the time, which is not further from the truth at all. I've been doing this since 2022, tracking my results publicly. I've talked to thousands, if not tens of thousands of sports bettors as a whole. I know which handicappers are profitable. I know what works from these handicappers and what doesn't. And more importantly, I know how to take a unprofitable bettor and turn them into someone who is long-term profitable. And hopefully, if you stick around until the end of this video, you will know pretty much the basic steps that will get you to that point of being profitable. All right, so to get into it, you can see last week I made $28,000 across 12 different bets with a total of $62,555 in completed wagers. Now, this number should have been a little bit higher, but you can see here that on some of these games, I was only able to get 3,000, 2,000, or 3,000, 2,000. So this number should be about $4,000 higher, adding up to about $32,000. But nonetheless, I was still very, very happy with $28,000 in profit last week. I have not seen another handicapper who will go into their sportsbook, screen record their exact P&Ls, their same bet slip that they've placed over a long period of time. This is not the first video that I've done where I've gone into full depth of showing these results. I've had multiple months where I've made $98,000, $100,000, $107,000 in profit, and I've shown full recaps behind that entire process. Whereas again, I've never seen another handicapper show one full month of their results. A lot of these handicappers will say, oh, I'm the best in the world, I show long-term results, and then it's 2 weeks of them being profitable. But if you look at them over a span of 1, 2, 3 years, they're pretty much breaking even. If you look at my long-term results, you can see my stats since the 1st of January 2025, going back over a year, you can see we are on a pretty profitable equity curve. Since then, we're hitting at a win rate of 59% with a unit profit of about 84 units. That is absolutely insane. One of the most famous sports bettors, known for being the most profitable, their win rate is a 57% win rate. If you go into ChatGPT, if you go into Google, if you go into Claudebot, you can ask them what is a good long-term record over time. I guarantee that they will tell you 56, 57, maybe 58. They won't even say 59. So now you see that I know what I'm talking about. These are the 3 biggest tips that can actually help you become profitable long-term from sports betting. Probably the most important and biggest thing in actually becoming profitable long-term is the mindset shift that you have to take from sports betting to investing. I know that's pretty cliche to say whenever you're talking about sports betting and you have the whole entire narrative of it being gambling, it's a money pit, you're never going to be profitable, it's impossible to beat the book. All of that nonsense, it's a really bad narrative that this industry has, and it's for the one reason that you're going about it the completely wrong way. It's the exact same approach from a lot of people. And this is what they do. They find a person online who says that they're good and they know what they're talking about when it comes to sports. They have a hot streak and they think, oh, I should probably take this person now because he's hot. He's going to continue winning. They pay that guy. They end up losing all of their money. They do that same process about 3 times. No risk management, no understanding why they're placing a bet, no one-on-one support from the person that they're actually buying picks from. There's no nothing. They're simply just gambling, and they wonder why they're losing money. Whereas if you treat it like investing, like a hedge fund, like a financial advisor, you're putting capital, decent amount of capital, behind high conviction bets and looking at a long period of time. You're not worried about profiting every week, every month. Anyone knows that in sports betting that is impossible, and anyone selling that they're going to be profitable every week, every day is just completely lying to you. I'm going to read this word for word. This is a message from one of my clients, and it's probably the best described message on how I can tell other people to approach sports betting. And he said, word for word, the biggest shift for me was to execute the play and shut it off. No watching a game I was on. That's a hard line for me now. Took a while to get there. Remove all emotion from it and treat it like a business. My bankroll is my capital, and if I'm making an investment to grow my business, it needs to have the right research and ROI potential. Would I throw 2 to 5% of my company's capital in an investment I didn't do my full due diligence on? No, this is no different. I view James as having a seat on my board of directors now. He doesn't control the purse, but he has expertise and time I don't yet. I have a goal and we'll get there. That's probably the best way that I can describe it as well, viewing me as someone on your board. You are paying me, you are getting told exactly what to do with the capital that you have. It's not I'm forcing you to do something, but I have the expertise and time that you clearly do not have, not in a rude way, but if you did have the expertise and you did have the time in this industry, you wouldn't even be watching this video right now. But clearly you aren't as profitable as you want to be. You see my results that I'm generating for my other clients, and now you want to do the same for yourself, which is totally justifiable. He also said, if you take a step back from the game board, the view you're left with is often more in focus. If the individual isn't disciplined in other/all areas of life, then sports betting isn't going to be any different. It may likely be even worse because it's likely just a coping mechanism. If you can identify it's a struggle, that's so massive to see for what it is, in my opinion. About 6 months ago, I made the conscious choice to block every social media capper that was in my feed because it led to scrolls/questions and self-doubt. Those distractions were bankroll killers. None of them were there to help me achieve my goals, only to take my money. I'm riding with James because of the authenticity and discipline he has proved. No smoke and mirrors. If I don't want to commit and be disciplined, that's on me at this point. Glad to be one small part of this real group. Again, I could not have said it better myself. He basically took the words right out of my mouth. This is the mindset that you need to have when going into sports betting, or again, you are going to be cooked. I've talked to tens of thousands of sports bettors, and the ones that think that you're going to be profitable every week, every month, think that it's sunshine and rainbows just because you're paying for picks, they never get ahead. The ones that do get ahead make thousands of dollars a month, make tens of thousands of dollars a month down the line. They all treat it like the investment it is, and that is exactly what I've been preaching on my page since 2022. So now you have the mindset completely dialed. You're starting to treat sports betting like the stock market. Now, the second thing, and probably the most controversial take that I have on my page, is that now that you're treating sports betting like the stock market, you need to have the same amount of capital that you go into the stock market with. People think that sports betting is something that you start out small with and put $100 or maybe $1,000 and try and flip it, which is not the case at all. You should go into sports betting with a very, very similar amount that you go into your stock portfolio with. The reason is you're not putting 100% of your bankroll on one bet. You're putting 2 to 5% of your bankroll on each bet. So if you join with $100,000 in your bankroll, you have pretty much $5,000 that you're putting per bet. If you join with $100, you're putting $5 per bet. You're not going to make any money. The same way that in the stock market, you go into it with 100,000, you don't put all of your $100,000 in one position. You diversify. You put it across different bets because you know that you're not going to hit 100% of the time. But over time, once you're following a actual structured plan, that in those investments, you will make money. Now that we're this far into the video, you should have two understandings that you probably wouldn't have before. The first thing is you're treating sports betting like the stock market. And the second thing is that you're going into the sports betting markets with decent sized capital. I'd say bare minimum $2,000 as your bankroll. That's even generous. I would say maybe 4,000 is probably realistically the lowest that you'd want to do. The third and the most important thing is understanding that sports betting is a long-term game. If you look at my graph since the 1st of 2025, you can see there's going to be hot streaks, cold streaks, hot streaks, cold streaks, hot streaks, cold streaks, hot streaks, cold streaks. It's a part of the game. It's inevitable. Just like any other thing, this is going to happen. You are going to have bad months, bad weeks, bad days, whatever it may be. It is not all sunshine and rainbows. And if you join right here and you have a very bad week, you'd probably think, oh, this guy's terrible, I'm never going to join his again. But if you stick around for the next 2 weeks, you're already hitting new all-time highs. Then you have another cold streak. 2 weeks later, you're right back to way new all-time highs. You hit a cold streak, all the way back up to new all-time highs. It's this simple, and yet so many people are so stubborn on the fact that if you're not profitable after 1 week or 1 month, you need to change your approach. You need to cancel your subscription, make a dispute with your credit card company, and go find a new handicapper. This is not the route that you want to go at all. Understanding that it is a long-term game is probably the hardest part, just because you're going to have bad weeks, bad months, and think that, oh, how do I know this is going to work? However, we have hundreds of clients who are in our community when we have these type of cold streaks that are constantly saying, look, I've been around much longer than you working with James. I've hit multiple cold streaks. However, I know that in the long run, we are going to be profitable. Every single time, we are right back in the profit a few weeks later. This is going to happen. This is why you need a good community of people surrounded with you. A lot of handicappers in this space, they have a Discord community, they have a Telegram community, and the clients in there are completely maniac. Like, after a losing day, they're pulling their hair out saying that they lost their rent money. After a winning day, saying, oh, I'm going to go get a cruise for my family. And after a losing week, they're saying, oh, this guy's a scam. You guys got to leave this. It's a complete roller coaster of emotion, and not something that you want to be around, because that is literally just gambling. In our community, after a losing day, the people in there are positive. Okay, on to tomorrow. After a winning day, okay, on to tomorrow. You should not have different emotions whether you win or lose. It is that, again, whenever you're doing that, whenever you're changing your emotions based on a day-to-day outcome, you are right back to gambling. In the stock market, you're not worried about your P&L every single day. Maybe after a bad month, a bad quarter, then you start stressing. That's completely normal. But in no scenario are you pulling your hair out, stressing every single day, whether your P&L is green or red. That's not how it works. If you can master these 3 things, treating sports betting like the stock market, putting really good capital behind your bets, and understanding that it is a long-term game, you will make way more money sports betting than anyone you know, anyone telling you what bets to take. You will make really, really good money if you do it the right way. But I want to make one thing crystal clear. If you do not treat it that way, if you start doing parlays, if you start betting on your favorite team, if you don't have a risk management, you start stressing over a losing week, you are going to lose a lot of money very, very quickly. Like I said, I've worked with a lot of people. I know what works. I know what doesn't. I'm very, very confident in what I do for a reason. And the reason I charge a very, very decent amount of money is because I know what I do works when it's done the right way. However, if you do not plan on doing it the right way, you will lose a lot of money. I'm going to tell you right now. If you made it this far in the video, you're probably, or hopefully, pretty interested in working one-on-one with me, getting access to all of my bets, getting access to the community with all of my clients. If that is you and you do want to get access, go to the link that's in the description. I have a video breaking down exactly what we do and who it is for. If it makes sense, fill out an application, book a call with me or someone from my team. And if it seems like a good fit, we'll see you on our onboarding call. If you have any questions at all for other videos that you want to see in my YouTube of me breaking down anything more into depth, comment down below on this video. I'm happy to show any proof, any more free advice of what you want, whatever it may be, sports betting related, just comment down below. And if you haven't already, make sure you're following my Instagram at NiserBets. I'll put it up on the screen right here. and I'll leave it down in the description as well.